Every late night gig, every tour, every big break still left you feeling empty inside. Israel Hall was living the musician's dream, playing with Grammy Award-winning artists, traveling the world, and making a name for himself. But something inside of him kept telling him there was something more. In today's episode, Israel opens up about the music industry's highs and lows, the moments that nearly broke him, and the faith that pulled him in a new direction. We'll talk about the emotional power of music, the dark side of the industry, and how surrendering to God led him to a purpose he never expected. From Nashville to ministry, from performance to true worship, this is a story of transformation, redemption, and revival. So whether you're chasing a dream, searching for meaning, or just love a good old-fashioned redemption story, this one's for you.
I got some cool stories.
So, yeah.
I'll give you a couple. I'll give you the good ones. I won't get too far into the bad ones.
Yeah, that's okay. Give us some good stuff. All
right. You already were recording?
Oh, yeah. I have it set.
Okay, that's
went over a little bit.
Yeah, that's great. So Israel, you're also audio and video teching at the same time as being the guest, right?
Yes, I have the iPad here with all the audio on it. I'm just eyeballing it, so.
So, I mean, I think that's a good testament to, how talented you actually are. And left-brained musicians are usually left-brained. Is that correct?
He's actually no brain.
I'm actually hair-brained.
Yeah, he's hair-brained.
Got a lot of hair going on. Well, hey, Izzy, welcome to the show. You're always on the show, but not usually in front of the camera. But today you are the main guest, so welcome.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Israel is a very talented, very accomplished musician. Let me read a little bit of your profile. He's toured with LeAnn Rimes, Hotel California, which is the tribute cover band of the Eagles. He's also played in several Nashville bands over the last 10 years. Israel, you've been all over the world and all over the U.S., which all countries have you toured in?
United States, Canada, Mexico, France, and Israel. And I visited a few countries in between that I didn't play in. You know how that goes.
Yeah. Well, and you just got back from Israel recently, right? Were you just on a mission trip or sightseeing? Or?
Yeah, I was actually over there, well, kind of both, but I also played a couple concerts. We got to play on Mount Carmel. And we played in downtown Jerusalem, Sukkot Halal, and we played in the city of David, where I had to basically take my hat off because they said I looked too Jewish, and they were worried that I could get shot at in the valley of the shadow of death right there in the city of David.
Oh, I know
literally where it is.
Yeah.
And so, I had to kind of hide myself. But once we got inside, we had a wonderful time of worship music and praise, and it was really good. So we did music, and we toured and saw sights. It was pretty incredible.
Israel went with me to the nation of Israel the first time.
Yep.
In spring of 2023, before the attack in Israel, and we took 57 people.
It was amazing.
Yeah, Israel and his wife went with me and Heidi, and then we had 57 people we brought with us. It was an incredible trip.
We got to play, and you were able to get me to lead worship on the boat on the Sea of Galilee.
Yes,
and in the amphitheater in Caesarea.
Yes, you did, and at the garden, and at the garden tomb,
where Jesus was raised, and that was incredible. That was the most amazing thing. We took communion in that little chapel next to
chapel,
and got to do prayer. There was music there. It was incredible.
Yeah.
So really, all over Israel, I've gotten to play music, and I'm going to get to go again in May. So
it's awesome.
It's awesome. That is really cool. So I have a lot of different questions for you from a perspective of a person that, my personality is very analytical and very listed person, right? Make a list, have to get everything completed.
Yeah, this is the better side of Paul Begley. I mean, I have no consistency or agendas or anything. he takes after his mother. Get things organized, do it right.
Oh,
yeah, he's got the best of both worlds, though. He's got the best of both worlds.
I can see that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So, when my wife's father passed away, I think it's probably about 7 years now. She inherited probably 3 or 4 of his guitars. So we have these really nice guitars.
Nice.
We got a Martin acoustic here as well. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, man, it is really a shame that nobody can play the guitar in the house. So I took it upon myself because I had my best friend was my roommate for like 4.5 years in college too. And he always played guitar. And I was like, man, I really want to learn how to do that. So when we inherited these guitars, I was like, well, this is a good opportunity for me to stop being so analytical and start being a little more free flowing, and learn guitar. So, I mean, not great, but I got all the chords down so I can play around.
Good. He's not bad.
Bit.
Yeah.
It's really interesting you say that because as you get into music as a profession, you'd have to do both. You have to be free flowing and you have to be analytical. There are some people that we call them technicians that are so focused on chord structure and lead riffs and scales and modes that they sometimes don't play with a lot of passion. They focus so much on the scientific part of the guitar or the piano, that they get a little bit mechanical. That's why we call them technicians. And then you have the people that, just play in the spirit, right? That sometimes don't even know what they're doing. They don't read music. They don't know all the scales and modes and all that. They can't even read music sometimes, but they can play with just intense emotion and spirit. So there's a little bit of both that goes on, in music. Just FYI.
It's not all about the numbers and the scales and
right. Well, see, we deal with this on Sunday morning where we do our rehearsal right before church. It's the only time we can really do it. Everyone gets together. And the problem is we have like the guide tracks, like the video, the YouTube videos of the songs that I send out during the week, and we have charts. But then we also have this thing called the Holy Spirit on Sunday morning where we have to repeat a verse or a chorus or something doesn't start right, or Pastor Melvin forgets everything he's doing or where he's at and he just starts it or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, whatever it may be. We might go into another song unrehearsed and just start flowing with it. So, I tell the guys, I'm like, look, you have the video, you have the record, how you have to learn it like the record, exactly like it, right? And then you have the charts, who might be a little bit even different than the record. And then you have what we play live, and we have to triangulate a position between those three, right? So, we need to know where we're going to start and stop, but in the middle, anything could really happen. But we need to follow the song structure, but be flexible. So it's a big... Music is all about that. I mean, all the record companies are trying to figure out how can we get a band or an artist or music that impacts people and that they'll actually believe it and buy it. Because if the people don't believe it, they're not going to buy it. It doesn't.
Yeah, that's some of my favorite music, really. I like a lot of soul music, like, late 60s, early 70s, Janis Joplin kind of thing like that. But a lot of those, I think I was listening to a podcast recently with Luke Combs. Luke Combs he can't even read music. Like, there's a lot of major artists now that can't even, you give them sheet music, they can't read it, but they can play. They got an ear, they got internal timing.
I would say probably half or a majority of all people in commercial music, pop and rock and country, probably don't read music. A lot of the singers.
So it's just natural. It's just natural talent, to sing, and the timing. They're able to keep the timing and everything like that, and the harmonies, just because it's natural. But they don't really know how. They can't really read sheet.
Well, and just to let you know, there's basically 4 kinds of reading music. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Well, there's sheet music like they had in the 1600s and 1700s.
Beethoven.
Yeah. So you have the lines. You have treble clef and bass clef, right? But now you have chord charts that a lot of people follow, where it's the words, and then you just put the chord up above it.
Yeah.
Then you have tablature, which shows guitar players, a lot of electric lead guitar players learn tablature. They show you exactly where on the strings you play these lead licks and everything in these intros, okay?
Right.
And there's another one that's used more often than not, and it's called the Nashville number system. And the reason why the Nashville number system is so critical is because when you go into the studio, these songs aren't written yet.
No.
So like if you were going to play Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, that's already written. So they show you exactly what it is.
Right.
But if you're writing a song in the studio and you're a session player, you have nothing to read.
Guys, just letting you know, this is a little bit of this podcast. It just released today. It's everywhere. It's on Amazon Music. It's on Spotify. It's on iHeartRadio. It's on just about everywhere there's a podcast. It's called Paul Begley Podcast. It's pretty original, right? Anyway, we want to share some of it with you here. But if you want to watch the entire episode, which is an hour and 27 minutes, which is incredible, and Israel really gets into his life story and his musical career with Leanne Rimes and Hotel California and some of the artists and backstories, you want to go to the Paul Begley Podcast channel right here on YouTube. Just go to the Paul Begley Podcast channel on YouTube, and that's where every week on Tuesdays we launch a podcast interviewing different, unique people. It's incredible. And but let's listen to some more of this. But would you please go there to the Paul Begley Podcast channel and subscribe? And every week you'll get these incredible interviews with different people, world champion boxers, aliens, predator. I mean, you name it, we're interviewing everybody. So let's go back to this.
You need to know just where the structure, the chord of the song is, and then you play what you're going to write in that spot.
I see.
Okay. So what it does is instead of showing the quarter notes and eighth notes on a bar, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. If it's a 4/4 song, okay. If it's 6/8, then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But if it's a 4/4 song, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the next bracket is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Got it.
But those are the beats. They actually, instead of using letters like the A chord or the D chord or the E chord,
Right.
they use numbers.
Okay.
The reason why they use numbers is because somebody may want to change the key just out of nowhere, and all of your charts all of a sudden change. You're like, oh, well, this wasn't A, but now we're playing in B flat. Well, now you got to rewrite all the charts, right? Also, somebody might be playing with a capo or something like that, or I mean, there's lots of reasons why. So they will use the number of the chord in the key structure. So they'll say 1, 4, 5. Like if you go dun 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 dun. So 1, 4, and 5 are the chords. So it'd be like B, C, and D.
I got you.
So in that one bracket, you'll go 1, 1, 1, 4, 5, 1, 1, 4, 5. That's G, G, C, D. And that's how people read Nashville charts live as they're playing it in Nashville, downtown or in the studios.
So it's the Nashville number system.
Yep, it's completely different than reading music on real paper.
So it's sort of like it's almost like creating a language outside of it, like Yiddish out of Hebrew. I mean, it's creating a language, a side language from a structured language.
Right. Like sometimes on stage at church, I'll say, hey, 5, like hang on the 5, don't move, just stay on the 5 chord. That's where I'm improvising, where we hold there. I want you guys to hold on the 5, and that suspends the song. And then when we go down to the next measure, boom, we'll go on the 1, and I'll start singing again.
So I thought you was doing praise and worship when you went like that, but you're actually
sometimes, or I'll say 1. I'll say,
I see you do that.
Hold on the 1.
Oh, okay.
And it just means hold on the 1. Stay on the first chord, the root chord. Just stay there, stay there, stay there. As long as you hear me doing it, and then as I go into the song, they'll hear how it goes to the 2 minor or the 4 or whatever. So there's lots of ways to read music.
Wow.
Thank you, Israel. So there's everybody's free music theory lesson.
There it is.
Right there. Not even charged.
You can find it.
Yeah. So it's so actually, Israel, we talked a little bit about your upbringing as well. But what actually got you first started into music? Is this a thing that was kind of built into you already, or were your parents musically talented? Did they, give you lessons, or just did you pick up an instrument and just start to play?
My mom was a worship leader for Pastor Chuck Smith in Costa Mesa, California. Right after the Jesus People movement, like the Jesus Revolution movie we were talking about before we started filming.
Yeah.
And I grew up listening to her play music, and I didn't necessarily think it was anything special. I was like, oh, that's my mom singing, right? Now I know how powerful my mom's voice and music is. I mean, she walks in and plays in a room and everything stops.
She's amazing.
It's incredible.
She really is.
It really, really is. And I didn't know that when I was a kid, but I would help her rap chords and put things away. And I never really thought about doing music till I was about 12, 13 years old. I started listening to instrumental music to Kenny G and Grover Washington Jr., and I figured out I really liked the saxophone. It was just something that just really jumped out to me. Every time I heard a saxophone, it grabbed my ear, my attention. And my parents went through a divorce when I was 12, 13 years old, about 13 years old. And that's when I was really using music to kind of let me escape a little bit. You know what I mean? Lots of people might get into trouble. Kids might get into, sports or whatever. But I got into music and into listening to saxophone music because there was no words. It wasn't secular or Christian music. It was just music. It was just notes. It was just, peaceful. I could just put headphones on and zone out and listen to music and not think about anything.
Did you like jazz or blues?
Yeah, I liked all of it, but the smooth jazz, like modern stuff, like I said, Richard Elliott, Grover Washington Jr., Kenny G, a lot of Kenny G. I listened to his stuff.
Yeah.
So I started playing saxophone in school. And I learned a little bit from my teacher, but I pretty much had to learn most of what I do on my own. Improvising, vibrato, all that kind of stuff. But I learned how to read music in school. And then as I got into high school, I started playing drums. I was in drum corps and did marching band because there were too many saxophone players and I was bored. I wanted to do something else. But when I was 14, I also started playing harmonica and guitar, and I started listening to a lot of country music too. And that's how I got into singing and writing. But still I was doing everything all at once. Like I'd play saxophone and drums at school, and at home, I'd never play saxophone. It's too loud, and I'm not playing with other people. So at home, I would play guitar, learn how to sing, and play harmonica. Play harmonica in the car when I'm riding down the road because it's just a little thing in your pocket, And my mom actually gave me a harmonica, wanted me to learn it, and worked on it for a while and lost the thing for like a year. And then one day I found it, and I went, I want to play this thing. And just
you're really good. You're really good. Really good.
So
actually, we got some of your music. You had your own band, the Copper Mountain Band.
Yeah, a country band I did with my cousins. I was them for about 7 years and started the band and named it after our family's homestead up on Copper Mountain in Montana.
Yeah,
and I started playing professionally when I was about 19. Started playing in country bands, several of them in the area of Spokane, Washington, and around Montana. And would do, weekends at resorts and, little festivals and stuff. And then started Copper Mountain Band with my family in 2007 when me and Kristen got married. It was literally that summer. So you want to hear a song?
Yeah, let's hear a song from it.
Absolutely.
What song you got here?
It's called Breaking In. The story behind this song is one night I had this absolutely terrible dream. I had a dream that my wife died. And it rattled me so bad. It was so real because my sister had passed away in a car accident. And so when I had this dream a few years later of Kristen, I just freaked out. And I woke up, I literally almost wrote the song in my dream. I woke up and had a bunch of words. And I'm like, I need to write a song to explain to her how I feel about my emotions. I don't really do that as much. I only write a song once in a while when I really feel it. I don't just write songs because it's Monday or Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Right? When something really hits me. And that dream I had, I woke up and I basically wrote this entire song. So anyways, we recorded it in Nashville with Shane Hill from Sawyer Brown. He was the producer, and recorded it at Mark Miller's house. Pretty cool.
So yeah, I love Mark Miller. The Sawyer Brown. One of my best recordings I've ever did was the Mission Temple Fireworks Stand, which he recorded.
Yep.
So
I'll take the dirt road.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah. I mean, come on.
Great stuff. I've done like 5 shows with those guys. They're just
that had to be fun. That had to be fun.
So okay, I'll play the song.
Let's do it. This Copper Mountain Band, Israel Hall, song written by you and performed by you. Here we go. Country.
Like a whip that's been cracked too many times to try to get its way, or a hand-tooled saddle only ever been rolled a certain way. Like a pair of boots that's been scuffed and stained and worn and put away, or a no belt you had to bring back for losing too much weight. Well, my heart is like worn out leather, set in its ways course, weathered and used. So it took me by surprise when you came in my life and showed us cowboy things he never knew. Much like unfamiliar places, you finally found that you have to go back again. There's parts of me that just now bringing in, like a polished new gun that's only ever been fired from your hands, like a fresh hot iron we're gonna use to make our brand. A steel gate busted wide, open to the fear for the ride. You forged a red hot love in me, I'm trying to describe. Well, my heart is like polished steel, tempered to the point it never could feel. So it took me by surprise when you came in my life and showed us cowboy things he never knew. Much like unfamiliar places, you finally found that you have to go back again. Parts of me are just now bringing in. My heart is like worn out leather, set in its ways course, weathered and used. So it took me by surprise when you came in my life and showed us cowboy things he never knew. Much like unfamiliar places, you finally found that you have to go back again and again. Parts of me are just now bringing in.
Wow. So did he hear the music all that time?
He heard it about right towards the end there, but
Oh, he-
you have to ask me the questions on it.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't hear the song?
No, I just
Man, oh man. The song was great, okay? And he says, my heart is like worn out leather. It's finally breaking in.
Yeah.
I could hear a little Travis Tritt in your voice, actually.
I agree.
Anyway, folks, that was a great song. I mean, Israel wrote that and performed that in front of thousands of people when he opened up before some of the big bands like John Michael Montgomery and Montgomery Gentry and Joe Nichols and people like that. Anyway, if you want to hear this entire podcast, go to my, you can hear it. Okay. It's called Paul Begley Podcast. It's everywhere. It's on iHeartRadio. It's on Amazon Music or Spotify or just about everywhere podcasts are. It's free. Just go and you can listen to all my podcasts. This is the 8th recording. Every one of them is an interviewing a different, unique individual. It's pretty amazing. And my son, Paul Begley Jr. there, he is producing the entire podcast and editing it all and helping me interview people. And he is phenomenal at this. I find that out. Very talented, doing a great job. Anyway, if you want to listen to the rest of this podcast, go to here on YouTube, go to Paul Begley Podcast Channel. It's the Paul Begley Podcast Channel. And you'll see a picture of me and Heidi together. It's the Paul Begley Podcast Channel right here on YouTube. So just Google or Google it on the search bar here on YouTube. Go find it and subscribe. And you'll see there's a bunch of other really powerful interviews. And we're getting ready to interview Craig Lidler here pretty soon, the Hollywood actor. And we've got David Nino Rodriguez, the former heavyweight champion boxing, and just a lot of great people. Okay. The guy who tour guide for Machu Picchu. Got a great interview with him. We got Amit Grinfield, the lieutenant colonel in the IDF army in Israel. I mean, we just got great, unique interviews. It's a different concept. It's a different view. It's another look at taking a look at different people and things that are really unique and success stories and information and just really cool. So go check it out. I'll let you guys go, and thank you for listening, and check out the rest of it, of the podcast with Israel David Hall on faith, fame, and the power of music.